Gospel of Nicodemus, formerly the Acts of Pilate, Part 1, continued, chapter 15. And Nicodemus rose and stood before the council, saying, Ye say well, know ye not, O people of the Lord, the men that came down out of Galilee, that they fear God and are men of substance, hating covetousness, that is, lying, men of peace? And they have told you with an oath, saying, We saw Joseph upon the mount of Mamilch with his disciples, and that he taught them all things that ye heard of them. And say they, We saw him taken up into heaven. And no man asked them in what manner he was taken up. For like as the book of the Holy Scriptures have taught us, that Elias, was also taken up in heaven, and Eliseus, his disciple, Elisha, cried out with a loud voice, and Elijah cast his hairy cloak upon Eliseus, and Eliseus cast a cloak upon the Jordan, and passed over and went into Jericho. And the sons of the prophets met him and said, Eliseus, where is thy Lord Elijah? And he said that he was taken up into heaven. And they said unto Eliseus, Have not a spirit caught him up and cast him upon one of the mountains? But let us take our servants with us and seek after him. And they persuaded Eliseus, and he went with them. And they sought him 3 days, and found him not. And they knew that he had been taken up. And now hearken unto me, and let us send into all the coasts and mountains of Israel, and see whether the Christ were not taken up by a spirit, and cast upon one of the mountains. And as this saying pleased them all, and they sent into all the coasts and mountains, and sought Jesus, and found him not. But they found Joseph in Arimathea, and no man durst lay hands upon him. And they told the elders and the priests and the Levites, saying, We went about throughout all the coasts of Israel, and we found not Jesus, but Joseph we found in Arimathea. And when they heard of Joseph, they rejoiced, and gave glory to the God of Israel. And the rulers of the synagogue and the priests and the Levites took counsel how they should meet with Joseph. And they took a volume of paper, and wrote unto Joseph these words, Peace unto thee. We know that we have sinned against God and against thee. And we have prayed unto God of Israel, that thou shouldest vouchsafe to come unto thy fathers and to thy children. But thou didst pray unto the God of Israel, and he delivered thee out of our hands. Now therefore vouchsafe, for we are troubled, because when we opened the door we found thee not. And we know that we devised an evil counsel against thee. But the Lord helped thee, and the Lord himself made of none effect our counsel against thee. O Father Joseph, thou that art honorable among all the people. And they chose out of all Israel 7 men that were friends of Joseph, whom Joseph also himself accounted his friends. And the rulers of the synagogue and the priests and the Levites said unto them, See if he receive our epistle and read it, know that he will come with you unto us. But if he read it not, know that he is vexed with us, and salute ye him in peace, and return to us. And they blessed the men, and let them go. And the men came unto Joseph, and did him reverence, and said unto him, Peace be unto thee. And he said, Peace be unto you, and to all the people of Israel. And they gave him the book of the epistle, and Joseph received it, and read it, and embraced or kissed the epistle, and blessed God, and said, Blessed be the Lord God, which hath redeemed Israel from shedding innocent blood. And blessed be the Lord, which sent his angel, and sheltered me under his wing. And he kissed them, and set them a table before them. And they did eat, and drink, and lay there. And they rose up early, and prayed. And Joseph saddled his she-ass, and went with the men. And they came unto the holy city, even Jerusalem. And all the people came to meet Joseph, and cried, Peace be to thine entering in. And he said unto all the people, Peace be unto you. And all the people kissed him. And the people prayed with Joseph, and they were astonished at the sight of him. Now Nicodemus received him into his house, and made a great feast, and called Annas and Caiaphas, and the elders and the priests and the Levites into his house. And they made merry eating and drinking with Joseph. And when they had sung a hymn, or blessed God, every man went unto his house. But Joseph abode in the house of Nicodemus. And on the morrow, which was the preparation, the rulers of the synagogue and the priests and the Levites rose up early and came to the house of Nicodemus. And Nicodemus met them and said, Peace be unto you. And they said, Peace be unto thee, and unto Joseph, and unto thy house, and to all the house of Joseph. And he brought them into his house, and the whole council was set, and Joseph sat between Annas and Caiaphas, and no man durst speak unto him a word. And Joseph said, Why is it that ye have called me? And they beckoned unto Nicodemus, that he should speak unto Joseph. And Nicodemus opened his mouth, and said unto Joseph, Father, thou knowest that the revered doctors and the priests and the Levites seek to learn a matter of thee. And Joseph said, Inquire ye. And Annas and Caiaphas took the book of the law, and adjourned Joseph, saying, Give glory to the God of Israel, and make confession unto him. For Achar, when he was adjured of the prophet Josiah, forswear not himself, but declared unto him all things, and hid not a word from him. Thou therefore also hide not from us so much a word. And Joseph said, I will not hide one word from you. And they said unto him, We were greatly vexed, because thou didst beg the body of Jesus, and wrappedst it in a clean linen cloth, and didst lay him in a tomb. And for this cause we put thee in safeguard in a house wherein was no window, and we put keys and seals upon the door, and the guards did keep the place wherein thou wast shut up. And on the first day of the week we opened it, and found thee not. And we were sore troubled, and amazement fell upon all the people of the Lord until yesterday. Now therefore declare unto us what befell thee. And Joseph said, On the preparation day, that is Friday, about the 10th hour, ye did shut me up, and I continued there the whole day. And at midnight, as I stood and prayed, the house wherein ye shut me up was taken up by the four corners, and I saw as it were a flashing of light in my eyes, and being filled with fear, I fell upon the earth. And one took me by the hand, and removed me from the place whereon I had fallen, and moisture of water was shed on me from my head unto my feet, and an odor of ointment came about my nostrils. And he wiped my face, and kissed me, and said unto me, Fear not, Joseph. Open thine eyes, and see who it is that speaketh with thee. And I looked up, and saw Jesus, and I trembled, and supposed that it was a spirit. And I said the commandments, and he said them with me. And as ye are not ignorant that a spirit, if it meet any man, and hear the commandments, straightway fleeth. And when I perceived that he said them with me, I said unto him, Rabbi, Elias? He said unto me, I am not Elias. And I said unto him, Who art thou, Lord? And he said unto me, I am Jesus, whose body thou didst beg of Pilate, and didst clothe me in clean linen, and cover my face with a napkin, and lay me in a new cave, and rolled a great stone upon the door of the cave. And I said unto him that spake with me, Show me the place where I laid thee. And he brought me, and showed me the place where I laid him. And a linen cloth lay therein, and the napkin was upon his face. And I knew that it was Jesus. And he took me by the hand, and set me in the midst of mine house, the doors being shut, and laid me upon my bed, and said unto me, Peace be unto thee. And he kissed me, and said to me, Until 40 days be ended, go not out of thine house. For behold, I go unto my brethren into Galilee. Chapter 16. And when the rulers of the synagogue and the priests and the Levites heard these words of Joseph, and became as dead men, and fell to the ground, and they fasted until the 9th hour. And Nicodemus with Joseph comforted Annas and Caiaphas, and the priests and the Levites, saying, Rise up and stand on your feet, and taste bread, and strengthen your souls, for tomorrow is the Sabbath of the Lord. And they rose up and prayed unto God, and did eat and drink, and departed every man to his house. And on the Sabbath, the teachers and the priests, the Levites, sat and questioned one another and said, "What is this wrath that is come upon us? For we know his father and his mother." Levi, the teacher, said, "I know that his parents feared God and kept not back their vows and paid tithes 3 times a year. And when Jesus was born, his parents brought him up unto this place and gave sacrifices and burnt offerings to God. And when the great teacher Simeon took him into his arms and said, Now lettest thou thy servant, Lord, depart in peace, for mine eyes have seen thy salvation, which thou hast prepared before the face of all peoples, a light to lighten the Gentiles, and the glory of thy people Israel." And Simeon blessed them, and said unto Mary his mother, "I give thee good tidings concerning this child." And Mary said, "Good, my Lord?" And Simeon said to her, "Good. Behold, he is set for the fall and the rising again of many in Israel, and for a sign spoken against. And a sword shall pierce through thine own heart, as the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed." They say unto Levi the teacher, "How knowest these things?" Levi saith unto them, "Know ye not that from him I did learn the law?" The council said unto him, "We would see thy father." And they sent after his father, and asked of him. And he said to them, "Why believeth he not my son? The blessed and righteous Simeon, he did teach him the law." The council said, "Rabbi Levi, is the word true which thou hast spoken?" And he said, "It is true." Then the rulers of the synagogue and the priests and the Levites said among themselves, "Come, let us send into Galilee unto the 3 men which came and told us of his teaching and his taking up, and let them tell us how they saw him taken up." And this word pleased them all, and they sent the 3 men which before had gone with them into Galilee, and said to them, "Say unto Rabbi Adas, and Rabbi Phinehas, and Rabbi Ageos, Peace be to you, and to all that are with you. Inasmuch as great questioning hath arisen in the council, we have sent unto you to call you into this holy place of Jerusalem." And the men went into Galilee, and found them sitting and meditating upon the law, and saluted them in peace. And the men that were in Galilee said unto them that were come to them, "Peace be upon all Israel." And they said, "Peace be unto you." Again they said unto them, "Wherefore are you come?" And they said, "We are sent. The council calleth you unto the holy city of Jerusalem." And when the men heard that they were bidden by the council, they prayed to God, and sat down to meat, and with the men, and did eat and drink, and rose up and came in peace to Jerusalem.